In this lesson, we're going to talk about breaking up chunks of files into smaller ones. So this is referred to as writing modular files, modular meaning that they could be reused in multiple places and that they're often smaller and around one specific thing that they're doing. So inside of our index, we're going to grab the stuff inside of our loop and pull it out into content.php. Now, we could do this using a new function that we'll talk about called getTemplatePart. Now, once we set this up, the other part of the loop has a content none.php thing that we will include, a little modular file, and we will also use getTemplatePart to pull that in as well. So let's take a look at how this works and how we can set all this up. So before we do anything here, I'm going to make some updates to how our theme is organized. And what I'm going to do is add a new folder called template parts. And this is following a underscore convention of naming any include files that you're going to put, like the ones we're about to create, into their own folder called template parts. So now what we could do is grab everything that is inside of the if statement and the while statement down until the end of the while and the else. So I'm going to cut all this out and I'm going to create a new file, paste it in there, and I'm going to save this into template parts as content.php. Now inside of here, I could use my get template part, and this works two ways. First, you have to say where you're going, where the folder is. So right now I'm inside of my index.php. So I need to say go into the template parts folder and then find the content.php file. So the first thing I have to do is template parts and then / content. Now I don't put content.php. It knows that you have to that the file that it's going to include is a PHP file. So getTemplatePart will only work with PHP files, and for that reason, you can leave off that extra. So we've got that one done, and let's just go ahead and bang out this other one here that we want to do as well. We're going to grab the whole article, remove that, create a new one inside that same folder, and we're going to call this content none.php. So this is going to be a naming convention, you see. We've got content first for generic, and then content none, and then who knows, maybe we'll see some other content hyphen something. So we paste all of that in there, and we are good to go. Now back inside of here, we could copy this, and you would think you could just do .-part like that, which will work, but this takes two parameters, and this is how you'll normally see this. So the first part is the entire string, where to get everything up until there's a hyphen in the name. So see over here, content-none. The dash is where it's going to be broken up, and then we could pass none in separately. And the reason for this will become more apparent as we start writing more complex code and learning some more template tags. So just trust me that there's a reason for that. I'm sorry, this is not part. That's none. Okay, that is correct. And let's just check that it works. Okay, our 404 is still 404ing, and our page is still paging. And we could check it again. Okay, so it still works. So we have the exact same thing. Why would we do this? Well, first of all, isn't this a little bit cleaner than what we had before, where we had all of this? Control Z away. Okay. We had all of this going on. It's tough to tell where you are. You might not know exactly like where you are in the loop, etc. So doing this to our code is, first of all, much cleaner. For that reason alone, it's a good idea. Now, the other thing is that as we go on, this getTemplatePart is going to allow us to do some cool custom things and be more flexible. So that's another benefit, is that it will allow us to dynamically pull in some more modular stuff and determine what template to pull in on the fly. So for those reasons, this is a good approach, and it's a common approach. So what will happen oftentimes is if you open up a theme, you'll look inside, you'll find the loop, and then you'll be like, where's all the code? And they'll just have a getTemplatePart. Then you got to go drag that file down, and eventually you'll find the code that you're looking for. So that's the case here. That's what we're working with. It's a good convention to follow. I suggest that you do that. So at this point, what you're going to do is follow along with what we did, and then go into your own theme and divvy it up as well, using get template part and these different parts. And I'd suggest you probably follow the same naming convention, since it's a pretty common one in WordPress.